3 gut-wrenching missing 411 children. Found. First case. Owen Castle. Went missing in 2009. The exact location of this incident was 60 miles northwest of Austin, Texas, in a very rural area. Owen Castle and his mother were on the Graham family's 220-acre ranch. Ms. Graham went to the ranch with her son to visit relatives. Ms. Graham and Owen were at the family residence when she received a phone call from her insurance agent asking for information that she had in her vehicle. She went to the car parked near the front of the residence with Owen close behind her. An article on the KXAN.com website dated February 4, 2009, had the following about the disappearance. After 1 or 2 minutes she looked around and noticed Owen had vanished. Ms. Graham immediately started yelling for Owen and then got family members to assist. There were no other homes, people, or vehicles anywhere in this area. After several minutes of searching, the police were called. A Texas Department of Public Safety helicopter made it to the ranch and used FLIR to detect body heat on the ground. The helicopter could not locate any heat signatures that matched Owen's. Dozens of ground teams were scouring the ranch, calling Owen's name and searching for any trace of the boy. Searchers were quickly getting very perplexed about the ability of a 2-year-old boy to get away from his mother's presence as quickly as she claimed. At 3 a.m., the helicopter pilots, ground searchers, and horse teams were exhausted and terminated their efforts for the night. The temperature that night went down to 28 degrees, and the searchers became concerned that Owen may have a tough time surviving in his Croc shoes, long-sleeve shirt, and blue jeans. At approximately 8 a.m. on February 4th, the search effort resumed. The Texas DPS helicopter with pilot Nick Granelli and observer Ben Mueller took to the sky and was flying a pattern almost 2 miles from the Graham Ranch. The crew was hovering over a neighboring pasture when they saw something odd. The helicopter lowered and saw what appeared to be a body draped over a granite boulder. Mueller advised ground searchers to converge on the body. As crews reached the boulder, they found the partially clothed Owen Castle. His body temperature was just 75 degrees, and he was in serious condition. The helicopter landed and flew Owen to Llano Hospital. Owen's condition was so serious he was immediately transferred to Dell Children's Center in Austin, where he eventually made a full recovery. The heroic efforts of the Texas DPS helicopter crew earned them the award of Helicopter Crew of the Year. The ground teams that found Owen were surprised by where they found the boy. In the same article that is quoted above was the following: Owen was exhausted and shocked, having gone well over 1.5 miles and crawled under a barbed wire fence and into a neighbor's pasture, and he had apparently climbed onto one of the rocks to stay warm during the night. Even the writer of this article seems a little surprised about the facts of how Owen was found. The boy is allegedly almost near death and exhausted, yet has the strength, knowledge and ability to climb a rock and fall asleep? I personally question that any 2-year-old leaves the presence of his mother, travels almost 2 miles, and supposedly climbs under a barbed wire fence. Really? Another article stated that Owen was found without his shirt and shoes.
Case number 2. John Doe. Went missing in 2010. I do not normally do stories with missing names like this one, but this is one of the most unusual missing 411 stories I have read. The name, date, and location of this incident have been changed to protect the victim and his family. John was camping with his family on the banks of a large creek in October of 2010. At approximately 6:30 p.m., John disappeared from the campsite and a call was made to the local sheriff and the United States Forest Service for assistance. The location is in the shadow of Mount Shasta, and with that comes a history of many strange things occurring over the years. Approximately 5 hours after the search started, John was found lying in a thicket, directly next to one of the primary trails that searchers had used. He was found in good condition and returned to his parents at approximately 11:30 p.m. John is a very, very intelligent boy that acts much older than his 3 years. When John returned home, he was initially quiet about the disappearance until he saw his grandmother. Once Grandma was seen, John told her that he had seen her twin while he was missing. He explained that he doesn't remember how he got lost, but his first memory is waking up in a cave or dungeon. He used both words to describe it. He says that he saw his grandma with him in the dark room. He stated that there was a ladder up the side wall that led to a bright light. The woman spoke to him in a very nice and polite way. He stated that she was interested in his tummy. He explained that he thought that he was talking with his grandma the entire time until he saw sparks come from her head. He then started to believe she was a robot. He says he saw guns and purses that had lots of dust on them on the walls of the cave and also saw other robots in the cave that never moved. John explained that near the end of the time with the lady, she placed a piece of sticky paper on the ground and told him that she wanted him to poop on the paper. He said that he didn't have to. It was some time after this point that she took him from the room and placed him under the bush and told him to stay there. He never explained how he got from the room but does remember being found. In conversations with John's family, his story has stayed consistent, and he has continually stated that he was never afraid. The grandmother explained that she had actually been at the exact spot where John disappeared. She was there several months prior to the boy disappearing. She stated that she and a companion spent the night on the banks of the creek, and her partner slept in their truck. She said that she awoke in the morning with a stinging pain in the base of her neck. Her partner looked and found a small red dot, nothing else. The woman doesn't know if this is related to John's disappearance but wanted to explain that it's coincidental that she was at the exact location months earlier.
Case number 3. Jason Elijah Burton went missing in 2011. On December 16, 2011, at approximately 1:30 p.m. a 21-month-old Jason Burton was in the family room of his residence with his mother, Brittany, and their family dog. Brittany stepped out of the room for a few moments, and somehow the boy got outside. Family told law enforcement that the dog knew how to open the door, and they think that may have been how Jason got outside. Once Brittany realized her son was not in the room, she rushed outside calling his name and looking for the boy. She searched the area, realized he wasn't in the yard or surrounding area, and called the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff and Department of Natural Resource officers responded en masse. Several hundred people responded and searched the area around the home and the surrounding woods. If you Google map the street, you will see that the immediate area around the region is nothing but open fields with thick woods 100 yards away. It would appear nearly impossible for a 21-month-old boy to get out of sight of the residence in just a few moments of being alone. Near late afternoon of the first day of searching, the weather turned bad. It started to rain and continued late into the night. That first night of searching did not produce any results of where Jason may be. It was at this time that family and searchers started to talk about Jason possibly being abducted, as they couldn't find him within the normal search parameters. On December 17th, the decision was made to put one Spartanburg deputy, Jamie Tate, and one natural resource officer, David Fox, in kayaks and place them in the Tyger River, located approximately 1 mile from Jason's residence. The pair was on the river early that morning and stayed on it through the early afternoon. They were not going downstream in the river but instead paddling upstream. It would seem that if law enforcement believed the boy went into the river, they'd go downstream, the natural way a body would float. An article on the WYFF4.com website had the following headline: "Missing toddler found on sandbar in river." Later in the same article was this: Spartanburg County deputies said they found Jason Elijah Burton alive around 2:30 p.m. Rescue crews found the boy about 2 miles from his home, laying on a sandbar in the middle of the Tyger River. You heard that correctly, they found the boy in the middle of the river on a sandbar. The boy was flown by helicopter to Spartanburg Regional Hospital and found to be in good condition. Deputies stated that Jason was wet and cold but was otherwise fine. A December 17th article on the groupstate.com website had this description of the rescue: at 2:30 p.m. this afternoon, a Spartanburg County Sheriff's deputy and an officer from the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources were using individual kayaks owned by the SCDNR officer to search a portion of the Tyger River about 2 miles upstream from where little Jason Burton had been reported missing Friday afternoon. This description explains the distance from the residence and the fact the pair was upstream. Knowing that it would be difficult for an adult to swim 2 miles upstream, how did a 21-month-old boy get that distance upstream? Questions. 1. The groupstate.com article did have a statement that temperatures the night that Jason was missing got down to the low 40s with rain in the area, meaning that if the boy was wet, wind chill should have started hypothermia. 2. How did a 21-month-old child get that far in thick woods? 3. How did the law enforcement helicopter that had made 2 passes over the river not see the boy on the sandbar?
Please like this video, and subscribe for more content like this. Please comment below on what kind of scary stories you would like to hear.